Hello friends, it gives me immense pleasure to meet you all from this technological platform. I today wanted to share few ideas about child-friendly school. We all want to gift a wonderful school to all our children. It's a promise to our stakeholders, our parents who are really looking forward to meet a child-friendly school. So today my intention is to give you that idea of making a child-friendly campus. What makes a campus a very child-friendly school? I just would like to share few ideas and I would really look forward to have a wonderful feedback from all my teachers. Schooling has always been a pleasure for all of us and I would really look forward to see that this gift can be, gifted to the next generation of citizens and presently our own children. So what brings them happiness in coming back to school? Ambience plays a pivotal role in gifting a child-friendly school. What is ambience? Ambience is the environment in the classroom, in the school campus, and how friendly is it towards the child. I just have few pictures to share with you. I would really show you how you can decorate your classroom with very small ideas. So just to begin with, the minute the child is stepping into the school, he needs to have a feel that he is into a paradise of his own, very colorful, vibrant, and gives him a sense of ease, which is very important. Every person has a transition phase from one environment into the other environment. If you're looking at children, they're all bubbly, cheerful, but when they have to go to the school, some children become very apprehensive. They hold a lot of fear. They hold a lot of inhibition. They are worried what kind of a teacher are they going to meet. And trust me, not only the adults who matter in the school, but more than the presence of the adults and the behavior of the adult, what really matters to the child is the ambience that's constructed in the whole school environment. So if I'm trying to talk about the whole school environment, I think I'm going to start with the classroom environment. So how is that you are going to make the school, the classroom environment very friendly? First thing is, I trust the teacher needs to have a lot of organization skills. The teacher needs to sort all her classroom stationery items, all her classroom belongings into particular places allotted. Once a classroom is organized and things are into place, then the mind of the adult becomes very organized and the teacher would be so relaxed about conducting her day-to-day events. So the first rule of a kindergarten classroom is the teacher needs to be very organized with all her classroom stuff. What is this classroom stuff? The classroom stuff can be chalk pieces, color chalk pieces, stationery items like pencils, crayons, scissors, lot of all those things which are quintessentials for a preschool environment. The teacher needs to organize all her stationery items in stationery trays. As discussed, I always wanted my teachers to put all the color pencils in disposable glasses or unused glass jars because they are going to promote a sense of discipline among kids. First, having stationery into place, then the teacher needs to tell children that the minute they step into the classroom, the child should know where he is going to rest his bag and his lunch kit. So the teachers are supposed to train the children in putting all their bags to the wall and all their lunch baskets into one corner. Therefore, the classroom looks very disciplined, very organized. Instead of losing the school bags into one side, the lunch bags getting into the walking area, it creates a lot of chaos for the children and for the teacher as well. Therefore, I would insist that the classroom becomes organized from the child's end by keeping the bags and the lunch baskets into one corner. From the teacher's end, how to keep her attendance registered, how to conduct her blackboard work, how to keep all her material like dusters, chalk pieces, all her stationery items like rulers, everything should be kept into one corner. Then the teacher minds becomes more organized And apart from this organization, the teacher needs to bring that colorful environment into the child's world. I request that the teachers are going to post lot of colorful paperwork in the classroom. This needs to be addressed on a soft board or at least on the plain board. If the teachers can fix some kind of board presentation, like they can use a lot of colorful gunny bags to be hung as bullet areas, notice board areas, where we are going to post all the child's work. This is one way of putting the information on the soft boards to decorate. And the other way is the teacher needs to make lot of birthday charts, lot of motivational charts. She can use simple ideas of cutting color papers into flowers and then fixing the child's photo in the midst of the flower, and then trying to create a kind of a garden on a chart and fix all the pictures of children so that they feel we are the flowers of grade 1 or we are the flowers of UKG. So the teacher has to make a very wonderful presentation on the wall area on different charts. Similarly, she has to put lot of motivational charts where she is going to use lot of ice cream sticks to post the picture of the child on the ice cream stick. A stamp size picture of the child needs to be posted on the ice cream stick, and the teacher has to post stickers whenever the child does a very beautiful job of good handwriting or punctuality or a neat uniform. She has to keep awarding star stickers on the ice cream sticker, and this becomes the motivational chart. Once there are 10 stickers on an ice cream stick, the child can be awarded a small gift of a pencil, a reading book. Something should be encouraged as reward system so that the child would continue with the same behavior. And this not only brings more color onto the wall, but also encourages the child to act upon good discipline and good conduct. So therefore this inculcates a very good habit for children to keep walking into good habits. So I insist that the teachers post a birthday chart, a motivational chart, and the teachers also can hang lot of mobiles in the air. These mobiles can be related to learning. Probably the teacher is a kindergarten teacher. She can hang lot of pictures related to like apple, and these pictures need to be colorfully hung in the air. Probably my teachers may have a question, ma'am, how do I hang mobiles because I do not have hooks to the roof. What I would request or suggest my teachers is, you can ask your housekeeping staff to tie 4 kind of wires in 4 directions, like generally the clothes peg, whatever you use, the loose wire can be fixed into the 4 directions of the classroom, and use pegs to connect hanging mobiles. I would show you some pictures so that it gives you an idea what kind of mobiles can be presented. They can be decorative mobiles, they can be learning mobiles, they can be sight words. It's up to you how you want to create, but all the time see that there's a lot of colorful danglings around the environment. Apart from this, when the child is stepping outside the classroom also, see that there is fair amount of greenery in the school. Probably my teachers may have a question, ma'am, we don't have so much of space to have plantation and all that. I'm not talking about landscaping, but I would suggest that my teachers go for colorful pots, maybe 4 or 5 green pots, to tell children how to take care of plants, because we are all part of nature, and you have to inculcate that love for nature, love for care, a love for respecting, sharing and caring attitudes in children. So let us start with simple gardening techniques outside the classroom, and in the classroom also you can have small amount of plantation which doesn't really require big maintenance, and this allows children to be part of the nature. This is one thing that's going to add to the environment. Once this environment is colorful and brilliant, I would suggest that my teacher should encourage a very good reciprocation through communication. Once the minute you set up yourself into the classroom setting and start meeting children and greeting them for the day, I want the teachers to have a very cheerful smile. bring that smile onto your face, and then that brightness into the eyes, and say, good morning children, how are you today? So this gives them ease, and this helps them to promote a kind of bonding with the teacher. I suggest that the teachers go, in case if the children are seated much before the teacher is stepping into the classroom, because we understand parents sometimes drop children much earlier than we enter into the classroom. Good is my teachers come early. In case if my children come early, I want my teachers to go, meet them, shake hands with every child in their place, pat them, stroke their hair with a lot of love, and then ask them by name, hey, how are you today? What is mommy cooking for you? Is your little brother home? There are a lot of things that you can start posing to children. Once you start meeting each and every child in his place and make him feel that each and every child is important in classroom, I am very sure every child would take that enthusiasm to come back to school. Apart from this, I would also suggest, once you start greeting your children, there's a common practice where children start singing greetings like a song. Generally, the practice in almost all the classrooms of our countries, when you ask children to say good morning, it's a kind of lullaby song that happens in a classroom scenario. They're going to say, good morning teacher. I know sometimes it sounds melodious, but majority of the times, we are promoting a lot of clumsiness in the presentation. I would start insisting that teachers train children in saying a crisp good morning, a crisp good afternoon, a crisp good evening. That's very, very important to be very precise with language. So train your children to say, good morning ma'am, how are you this morning? So, good morning children, I'm good, how are you? So that should be the normal procedure of greeting that needs to be encouraged. And generally in our schools, we think saying namaste with good morning is a common custom. But what I would suggest is, namaste is a part of Indian culture, and then good morning is a part of, English ritual. I don't think we can really, bring them both together. But when you want your children to wish any adult in the schools, either by good morning, good afternoon or good evening, encourage children to stand straight, feet together, hands at the back. Okay, then you say good morning, and many a times before the teacher would ask the children to sit down, the children would start sitting and then say thank you. But I would definitely encourage my teachers to train children with proper gestures. Using gestures and communication is very important in lower classes. So teachers, when you are encouraging children to say good morning, and then you say good morning children back, and you ask them to sit down, the simple thing is train your children to say thank you with a simple nod of head, because that gives them pause of time. Once they say thank you, then you tell them to sit down. There should be a pause. Do not allow children or do not entertain children to say thank you and start sitting back in their chairs. Let them understand why they are saying that thank you. They are saying that thank you because they are asked to sit down. So that should be completely explained to the child. Then the another important factor which I wanted to share with you all is, whenever children are saying a pledge either in primary class or in the pre-primary class, you have to encourage children to put their hand on the heart and say, India is my country, all Indians are my brothers and sisters. Let them use a proper pause so that they understand the pledge that they are trying to share it with the rest of the class. Because it's something that they are committing for. You have to help the child understand what exactly the pledge is, helping them to communicate. We do not really take that pain to explain the child how to say the pledge in an assembly. So start doing this training right from pre-primary so that the child will understand and stay more focused and committed about saying the pledge in the assembly. And that is what will shape the child into the good citizen of this country. Okay. After this assembly, what I would really like to suggest my teachers to practice is, tell children to settle down, then do a small kind of physical activity depending on their age level. I would encourage that teachers would start doing a small brain gym right from nursery to at least in the third grade, because children have to have the transition time or the settling time. This brain gym allows them to do the settling time. Whenever children have entered into the classroom, they are still not yet settled for listening. They are settled for sitting and looking at you. But if you have to fine tune their minds into your conversation, allow a fair amount of exercise in the form of brain gym. So teachers, brain gym is not a very complex word. I just want to simplify is brain gym is something that's connected more to do with listening activity. So start with a simple exercise. Tell your children to stand straight, feet together, show me your hands and put them up. So allow children to stretch their hands up, then stretch them to the side, then put them down. When you are giving them instructions, physically when you start acting in the classroom, children find it very easy to act upon. But when you really, insist children to close their eyes and listen to the instruction, majority of the times children fail to do the practice. Suppose for example, when you tell children to close their eyes and put their hands up, the child gets little confused and baffled.